I'm going to quickly take you through the basic steps of a guitar setup and end by sharing the single most important setup adjustment. It takes less than a minute and it might make all other adjustments unnecessary. Now, how cool is that? This is not an in-depth guide to setting up your guitar. It's just a quick overview of the process. All the adjustments that I'll be discussing affect both the length of the string and or the distance from the top of the fret to the string. This is commonly referred to as string height, but is accurately called the action. Guitar necks are manufactured with a slight concave bow. Otherwise, if the neck was too flat, the strings would rattle against the frets. This bow is called neck relief. There is a metal rod located just below the fretboard, and that extends all the way through the guitar neck. It's called the truss rod. By adjusting the truss rod, you can control the amount of relief bow in the neck. It compensates for the tension of the strings by creating a convex bow when tightened, which pulls against the strings. Loosening the truss rod allows the string tension to increase the bow. It allows the strings to win the tug of war, okay? To quickly take a look at the bow in your guitar neck, press the 6th string to the 1st and 17th fret like this. Look at the gap between the 7th fret and the 6th string. That's the neck relief. If there's no gap, your neck is too flat or even worse, convex. The truss rod adjustment requires a feeler gauge and a straight edge. You can purchase a feeler gauge at an auto parts store. Place the straight edge on the neck over top of the frets, and I measure a gap at the 7th fret at 0.008 inches. That's where the feeler gauge is necessary. The straight edge placed directly on the frets works unless a fret is popping out higher than the other frets. You must also be sure that the straight edge is resting on the frets, not the pickups. So be sure that there's not a gap on the highest fret, and that means right here that it's actually resting on the frets instead of the pickup. Once you've measured the 7th fret gap, it's time to make the adjustment. To flatten the neck to create less of a gap, first, loosen tension on the neck by detuning the guitar. It's a good idea to mark the truss rod so you'll know exactly where the original position was before you started adjusting it. Then loosen the nut a 1/4 turn just to get it moving. Then tighten it a 1/2 turn clockwise. Retune the guitar to pitch and don't touch it again until tomorrow. It can take time for this adjustment to take hold, and you're in no hurry. Tomorrow, check the neck and make an additional correction if necessary. It may take a few days to get this right, but once again, you're in no hurry. If you need to increase the gap, simply loosen the nut a 1/4 turn, retune, and check it again tomorrow. Go through the process again if necessary. The next adjustment is for floating bridges. If your bridge doesn't float, this doesn't apply. The bridge should be parallel to the guitar body. Be sure your guitar is tuned to pitch. It should look like this. If it looks like this, the springs need to be equally tightened to bring the bridge back into place. If the bridge looks like this, the screws need to be equally loosened. Notice that these bridge positions affect both string length and action. After performing this adjustment, tune your guitar to pitch. If necessary, continue adjusting until the bridge is parallel to the body. Next, we adjust the action. Most of us like this setting as low as possible to the frets, as low as possible without string buzz. Still, this is personal taste. Play the 6th string to see if any buzz comes through the amplifier. If not, turn the adjustment a 1/4 turn clockwise. This lowers the strings to the frets. Retune the guitar and test again. Eventually you'll hear some buzz, and at that point raise the action a quarter turn. Retune the guitar, and you're all set. Go to the first string and make the same adjustment. Retune and test the action by bending strings up and down the fretboard. Test all strings. You may find that some bends are deadened by the frets. If so, you need to raise the action slightly. The final adjustment is intonation, which tunes the note at the 12th fret to the same note as the harmonic or chime at the 12th fret. It's a different octave, but it's still the same note. From nut to bridge, the measurement on this guitar is approximately 25 inches. The harmonic occurs in the exact middle of the string, which is 12.5 inches. You don't need to measure this. It's not part of the process, but I am demonstrating this because most people have no idea that the 12th fret harmonic or chime is in the middle of the string. Okay, now plug into a tuner. Tune the 12th fret harmonic to pitch. Now check the note at the 12th fret. So the note at the 12th fret is slightly sharp of the harmonic. If you need to flatten the note, turn it clockwise. You are lengthening the string, which flattens the note. If the note at the 12th fret is flat of the harmonic, move the bridge piece by turning the screw counterclockwise. Do this on each string. Chances are some of the notes don't match the harmonics. The pitch of the harmonic can change as the bow in the neck fluctuates, and that's why you need to adjust the intonation. As promised, I will now share the most important setup adjustment. The answer is the truss rod adjustment. Here's why the truss rod adjustment is so important. When you purchase a new guitar or have an older guitar set up by a competent professional, measure the gap between the string and the 7th fret. As time passes, the neck will bow slightly, either concave or convex. As the neck bows, it affects string height, intonation, and the position of the bridge because the string length and height changes. As the truss rod is adjusted to the original factory specs, the neck returns to the original position. Magically, intonation, action, bridge location, and spring tension will return to their original positions or very close. It's likely that you won't need to adjust the bridge, action, or intonation once the neck returns to the original factory specifications. Because the neck is made of wood and the strings don't pull with equal tension, time and neck stress can change these settings slightly. If so, adjust them in the order taught here. Be sure to subscribe to my channel and check out another one of my videos that's recommended here.